PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now. Let's talk about Bucs and the Bills. The team that, Panthers are on the heels of the Bucs now. Bills win this game 44-32 is the final score. Top 5 graded players that we had for Buffalo. Defensive tackle Deion Walker at the top of the list with an 84.6. Linebacker Dorian Williams an 82.5. Offensive tackle Spencer Brown an 81.8. Wide receiver Tyrell Shavers with a 79.5. Defensive tackle Daquan Jones a 76.9. And then Josh Allen a 72.4. On Tampa side of things, their 2 offensive tackles lead the way. First Tristan Wirfs with a 79.6. And then Luke Gedeke with a 76.9. Center Grant Barton right after that with a 74.6. Safety Antoine Winfield Jr. a 72.7. And then running back Sean Tucker with a 70.8. Baker Mayfield in this game a 55.1. Stat that told the story here, Dalton.
Look, I think Josh Allen, obviously, he had 6 total touchdowns in this game, only the second player ever, and the first ever to do it twice with 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in this game. It was a slow start. He had kind of a retro 2019 Josh Allen basketball pass interception that never should have been thrown, obviously. Second interception late in the second quarter also was not great, but put it together when he needed it most. Look, he had a 60.6 PFF grade in the first half, mostly because of those 2 turnovers, and an 81.1 in the second half. Once he figured out the rhythm of this defense and when the Bucs were blitzing and what coverage he was getting out of that. And I thought Joe Brady really called a great game as time went on as well, figuring out those man-to-man matchups when the Bucs were blitzing. And then just Allen, he's gotten so much better over the years at seeing zone coverages and seeing coverages in general. He took the reins in this game as he does so often, and as he so often has to do for this Bills team that still gave up 32 points and I think, over 200 rushing yards in this game. Allen in Buffalo, you could argue, is the best player in football. He showed it again in this game. The grade is a bit dragged down again by the 2 turnovers. The first one especially was really bad, but when it matters most, especially in that building, Allen was outstanding, and he carried this team to another win as he so often does.
Yeah, Josh Allen was fantastic in this game, and I think that when you look at the Bucs defense trying to match him, again, not taking anything away from what the Buffalo Bills did, the Bucs, I just don't think have the horses right now on the defensive side of the ball, or at least it certainly was a glaring issue for them yesterday. I think that when you looked at how they were playing in coverage, they tried to deploy a lot of different numbers of coverage defenders, but the problem is that with Hassan Reddick out, because Hassan Reddick is out, they don't have a one-on-one winner. Yaya Diaby, 3.9% pass win percentage in this game. Logan Hall, 0.0% pass win percentage. Chris Braswell, 0.0% pass win percentage. Their highest pass win percentages came from their defensive tackles in this game, and that's not, you've got to have more than that. You have to have more than that against Josh Allen. Those numbers are not good enough without Hassan Reddick. Levante David has been good this year. Heck, he was good last week. But I don't know if it was the Buffalo cold or what it was, but the Levante David looked 1 and even 2 steps slow in this game. And again, I don't know if it was just the cold, because he looked a lot quicker last week when they were in Tampa, but he looked like he was running in quicksand in this game. He was not as quick as he needed to be. He was not as fast as he needed to be. And then Benjamin Morrison, their rookie corner, he got picked on a lot in this game, gave up 3 catches for over 70 yards in that touchdown, that first Josh Allen touchdown that they had there. And it's a situation where Jamel Dean plays 2 snaps because he gets hurt. And then Benjamin Morrison, the rookie, is thrown in there. And Ben Morrison was also the player who gave up the long Kyle Williams touchdown last week. You talk about confidence. We just talked about confidence with Bryce Young. Benjamin Morrison is not playing with confidence right now. And it's hard to when you were a rookie corner. It's a very tough ask because there's so much going on. You're learning so much. And the position is so much about trusting yourself and what you're seeing anyways. If you are analyzing things instead of truly just anticipating and being able to get after the football, you're not going to win in this league as a corner. Ben Morrison isn't at that point. I think he's a really talented corner. I think he's going to be totally fine. But in this game in Buffalo with this assignment, coming in after 2 snaps because Jamel Dean got hurt, that was a nightmare for them. So I thought that Todd Bowles got a little bit outcoached with Joe Brady, and it felt like Joe Brady and Josh Allen were a step ahead. It felt like all game long, but they're also, I just don't think Tampa had what they needed to have out there to be able to beat, like you mentioned, Josh Allen, who feels like one of the best players in all the NFL when he is playing at home. So I think the stats that told the story is just simply the fact that the Buccaneers were not playing together, and I don't think they had enough talent out there on the defensive side of the ball to slow down the Bills the way that they needed to.
Yeah, I think Joe Brady and Josh Allen, as the game went on, really had a beat on what Todd Bowles was trying to do on defense. And look, I see two issues. Obviously, the youth at corner is one thing, but the other two issues, you mentioned the linebacker level, David and Dennis really struggling in this game. And the other thing, too, they need, and I think it's going to be a big thing we talk about come this draft season, they need a primetime edge rusher. They need some. I get Hassan Reddick's been decent. Yaya Diaby's a good player. They need a primetime guy. They blitzed at a 60% rate in this game. They're way too dependent on blitzing to get pressure on quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and the problem is they're not good enough in man-to-man coverage to blitz that much, especially without Jamel Dean on the field. They're not good enough man-to-man to blitz that much. And you're going to run into issues when you run that much man-to-man and your guys on the outside can't handle it. So I'm with you. I think Joe Brady called a great game. Josh Allen was outstanding, and Todd Bowles was beat to the punch in this game. And it seems like when he has to go against veteran quarterbacks that can really see everything he's bringing, you see a lot more issues in this defense.
Yeah. My most impressive, Josh Allen, obviously. But just for somebody that wasn't Josh Allen, I thought Sean Tucker ran with a lot of juice. He brought more juice to that backfield for Tampa. I felt like he should have got a lot more opportunities even before today. 106 rushing yards, 34 receiving yards. He had 3 missed tackles forced as well. So I thought he was really good in this game, and he gave Tampa some extra athleticism back there.
Yeah, no, I agree. He was outstanding in this game, especially when you consider still missing Bucky Irving. Somebody's got to step up. They gave the opportunity to Tucker, and you still have concerns about this Bills run defense with the way they've struggled this year. I want to give a shout-out to a guy who's done a lot of the dirty work in this Bills offense and had a great game, especially all the controversy around Keon Coleman being inactive and everything. Terrell Shavers, how about the best game of his career? 4 catches, 90 yards and a touchdown, 3 explosive catches. The touchdown, really good job on the scramble drill, just working late in the play to get open behind the defense for Josh Allen to be able to make that throw. And this is somebody who, lines up in a lot of condensed formations, run blocks a lot. You know, he kind of plays that role almost like Sean McVay would use some of his guys, right? Like a Jordan Whittington or somebody like that, where he's just so often that extra run blocker. It's really good to see Shavers get rewarded for a lot of other work that he's done in this offense that doesn't show up in the box score, right? And now he had an opportunity for it to show up in the box score, and he was really good in this game. Props to him for making a couple big plays here.